I've been thinking a lot about Charles Dickens, mostly because I watched A Muppet's Christmas Carol over the Christmas holidays, and I don't know, I've just been kind of fascinated with him recently, maybe just because back when he was writing, a lot of the work that you did was mostly writing weekly and releasing sections of a story in newspapers and magazines and all that sort of stuff. And that's kind of impressive. I mean, that means you're going to have to write a lot, frequently, every day essentially. So it made me wonder what his sort of routine was and whether or not it would help me. And let's just say, Charles Dickens is crazy. Yeah, as you can probably tell, and also by the title of this video, I am following Charles Dickens' writing routine. And this guy, my voice went way high then, oh my lord. His writing routine is not what I expected, but is one that I'm kind of intrigued to see how it's going to work. Because it's basically only 3-ish things that he does, or at least 3 parts of it. And it is 1, waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock having breakfast, starting to write at 9 o'clock and writing all the way until 2, having a lunch break essentially, and then going for a 3-hour stroll. Coming back from that 3-hour stroll, I just realised this is more than 3 parts. He comes back from the stroll after 3 hours, does a little bit more writing, then has dinner and family time at 6 o'clock, and then it doesn't say when he went to bed, but he's finished for the day at that point. And I was kind of intrigued by the fact that he went on this stroll and if it had any, impact or involvement on, his day and his writing and just the process as a whole. So I thought, why not give it a go? So instead of doing one day, just because I've realised with my Terry Pratchett one and the other writing routines that I've done, only doing them for one day doesn't seem to kind of give me enough opportunity to kind of figure out if I like it and how it works. So I will be doing at least 2 days. Unfortunately, I do have a part-time job, so I can't do multiple days, but at least 2 days of following Charles Dickens' writing routine of getting up at 7, having breakfast by 8, and writing from 9 until 2, and then going on a 3-hour stroll. I will admit now, it will likely not be 3 hours, just because it is still the winter period right now, and it gets dark here in the UK around 3 o'clock, and as someone who is female presenting, being out at dark is a big no, so it probably won't be as long, or at least as late, so I'll probably find alternatives in some form. But yeah, doing his stroll, coming back to write a little bit more, and then I'm going to put family in quotes. No, my girlfriend is my family. So it'll be family time after some more writing. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it's going to go. So let's dive in. think 5 hours of writing would go by quick, but it kind of did. This Dickens method was kind of really working for me. It was lunchtime at this point, so I made myself a quick thing to eat before intending to go out for a little bit of a walk because it was torrential rain, and then going to the gym soon after. It was going pretty well, minus the bad weather, but I'm sure Dickens had bad weather too. Five hours gone in a blink again, and I was then able to head out for an actual stroll. It was a little chilly, so I took a flask with me, but I ended up walking along the river, which did mean it was a little bit colder for me, but honestly was truly worth it because the views that I saw when walking along the bridge, and the wildlife that I got to see as well, mostly ducks admittedly, was, a pretty great experience. And even though I did get lost at one point, which was both hilarious and terrifying because I was quite low on battery, I had a great time. Except for the moment where, after getting lost, I had to walk through a really creepy mini alleyway. But after surviving that, I got home and just started writing again. Yeah, you guys can probably tell that I filmed this all in one go. I forgot to do the intro when I first made this video, and I did the Charles Dickens stuff already. So I definitely already knew how it went in that opening bit, but I'll lay it out fully now. I enjoyed Charles Dickens' routine, and it worked pretty well for me. I got quite a lot done. I managed to finish... So it's mostly revisions that I'm doing now, admittedly, for, in this case, The Phantom Queen Listens, which is a short story set in the Island in the Other World series. And it is, like I said, mostly revisions. But I managed to do 2 chapters worth of revisions. And a lot of that is also rewriting stuff, as well as just kind of adjusting things. But across those 2 days, I did 2 chapters worth of revisions. And then, because I was like, I'm kind of getting tired of revising stuff, I did also manage to write a chapter for my sports romance book, which is pretty good as well. So I was incredibly productive. I also kind of feel better health-wise as well, with the fact that I got the chance to go to the gym and use that as part of like my stroll time. I was going to go to the gym anyway, but the fact that it was torrential rain made it more of a reason to go to the gym instead of going out for a walk. But then also doing the walk the second day and tying that in with going to the shops to get some stuff that we needed for dinner, at least doing that at the end of the walk, but like walking along the river, just kind of being out in the fresh air after being sat inside for so long. And it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not an early riser. I hate waking up early, so that part I didn't like that much, because I was kind of exhausted. You probably saw in one of the bits I was so checked out for like that first hour. Well, first 2 hours really. I did not properly wake up until about 10:30. So I was writing, but like I did have to go back at some point and be like, I have no idea what I've just said here. So the early morning part, not as much of a fan. So I think if I was going to incorporate Dickens' routine going forward, I think it would just be kind of, it'd probably be waking up around 8:30 instead. And then probably starting writing at 9:30 instead of maybe just making the end point be a little bit later, so like 9:30 to 2:30 instead. But the walking bit and just kind of getting out really did help. It also meant that I was really refreshed when I came back and continued doing some more writing work. I didn't finish at 6 in the case that like what Charles Dickens does, mainly because we don't have dinner in our household until 7, just because it's super expensive electricity wise, and from like 4 till 7, so we don't start making anything until after 7 o'clock. So it just gave me an extra hour essentially, which was also pretty good. So yeah, I found Charles Dickens' routine to be incredibly helpful, minus the early mornings. So yeah, I would recommend Charles Dickens' writing routine because it was good and it was helpful, especially getting out of the house part, because especially as a writer, you spend a lot of your time inside on a computer. Getting out to be in nature, to walk around, hugely positive and beneficial. So yeah, if you want a new writing routine, check out Charles Dickens.